as you know, we love to hear your issues and your concerns on BBC Essex. It's something that's very important to us. And if you do ever have any topics that you want to chat about, do call us on 0800 111 40 41 and we will do our best to find the time. Because that's what Singh from Grays did. He actually contacted us as he has a book out all about his experiences through racism in particular as an Indian child living in East London. And the book is called Unbreakable, Wrong Place, Wrong Time, which talks about the experiences Jag and his family encountered in the 1970s. Now, we've brought Jag on to the show to have a talk about the book and his experiences. And Jag, I'm just going to throw it out there, since we're talking about clearing, how were your A-level results?
Hi, Akylah. Thank you for inviting me. Don't ask. I remember when the results came, we did our mocks, and the results came out, and like you said, everybody got together in the hall and could get the results. And I was walking towards the to see what my results were. My mate looked at me and said, Jag, if I was you, I'd just turn around and walk away. I said, why is that? He goes, you're the only person I've looked up to who's got 4 U's unclassified, which they didn't even bother looking at the work you've done. And as it goes, Jag, I think you've got a horse.
I mean, that being said, despite...
And my teacher said, he said, you're the first person in the school ever to get a horse. I mean, you have failed utterly. So I just turned around and walked out. But I'll tell you what happened, Akylah. I went home and my brother said, I didn't study during my young school days because obviously we were at the wrong time, wrong place, as you've spoken about the book title. I was too busy hiding away from the bullies, the racism. It was a lot going on. So it was more about survival for me rather than concentrate on my studies. But when I went home and I said to my brother, I failed, and he said, Jag, do you want to educate? Yeah, do you want to become something? I said, yeah, I do, Bob. Yeah, I do. He goes, then read everything and get hold of. And I remember sitting at home. I'm speaking about a different time here. There's a book called the Yellow Directory with telephone numbers in it, phone directory. I was just sitting there reading it page by page, and before you know it, lo and behold, the point here is that if you focus enough, you can get into it. But yeah, I was the first person in school to get a horse. Well, 4 years.
But then, like you said, you still wanted to do something. It might have taken you a few years to figure it out, but now you've written a book. So tell us a bit about this.
It's been 22 years in the making, Akylah. My boy was born 22 years ago, and I came home from the hospital and I started writing the first words of the book. And the reason why I started writing then was because I looked at my boy and I thought, this boy is not going to go through what I went through. Number one, I'm here to protect him. Number two, there are laws now in place in this country that actually do not accept racism. And, I'm going to teach him to be the person that cares about people, respects other people's religions, respects other people's cultures. And lo and behold, that's exactly what I've done with my children. They are open-minded. And also they've done their own anti-bullying rallies in their schools. And that's what I started writing. And 22 years in the making, I'm not going to sit here and tell everyone it's easy to write a book. No. That will be, it will take you to the brink of insanity. You will be tested. Your will be tested. But if your heart and your passion's in it, you can get there. And as you can tell, Akylah, I was really passionate about getting this message out because I wanted people to know, and this generation right now of ethnics in this country, they need to realise that what we went through that time. And why am I reminding them? Because they are so lucky to live in a world where they get appreciated. We're at the bottom of an application form. They ask your ethnicity. They ask your equal opportunities. All right, that wasn't about in the 70s. So the children of today are so lucky. The world is open to them. They can go and achieve anything they want. Go for it.
Let's talk about some of those comparisons then between your child and your upbringing. Why do you think racism was such a problem in the 1970s?
Now, every child, I looked into this, Akylah. I really studied this, that why were the skinheads the way they were? Why was there racism at that time at such a high peak? And through my research, I've come through with an answer. And this is to all the parents out there, yeah? What the parents say, speak, do, their children follow. Everyone. So at a younger age, like I said to you before, with my children, if your children grow up noticing that all cultures, all creeds, everyone out there is the same and we must respect everyone, that's how they will grow up and the personalities will come out. Now, in the 70s, with the skinheads culture, The parents, they were sitting there saying, oh, they're coming into our country, taking our jobs. Oh, they're doing this, they're doing that. Oh, look at them walking down the road, thinking it's their country, their country, their country. I mean, I went in a butcher's once, right, Akylah? I went in a butcher's, right? And I was about, say, 6 years old, 6, 7 years old. That's how bad this is like, ingrained in my head. I was about 6, 7 years old. I was in pushchair, and a beautiful old white woman came up to my mum and she went, warm, innit? It's really hot. She went, warm, innit? Just like your country, to my mum. And my mum said, oh, it's lovely, lovely. Now I'm sitting there in the pushchair thinking, wait a minute, warm like our country. What does she mean? I mean, I was born in Britain. I could never, it took me years and years before I thought, oh, she means India. Now, this woman wasn't racist. It was just lack of education. She wasn't racist, but when then my mum explained to her that, you know, this boy was actually born in this country. And I said, it took me many years to realise, what the hell did she mean by that? Oh, she meant India. So that's just a rough idea of what the culture, or what the thinking was at the time, because we were the first Indians in Canning Town, and there was hardly no blacks, no Chinese, no nothing. So you can imagine how we stuck out in school, at home, in the streets. And my father and mother went through a lot of abuse, and now I've told my mum that I wrote this book, and, you know, I gave her a big cuddle and a big hug, and man, she was tough, man. She was tough, Akylah, man. She could take on the skinheads. She's only about 5 foot something, but she'd go, yeah. The thing is, they thought my mum couldn't speak English because obviously she wore a sari and a salwar kameez. But when my mum, when she came to the country in 1945, and she worked at the market stalls, and she was like she still is a proper cockney, right? And when the skinheads used to come up to us and look, 2 little kids on the side, go, all right, mate, go back to your country. My mum, oh my God, Akylah, who do you think you're talking to? Oh my God, yeah, do you want to know? Yeah, come on, go, mum, please, mum, don't, mum, they're about 6 foot 7. But do you know what? She always said to us, never show them you're scared. She said, you're gonna be scared inside. And that applies to everyone in this world. You know, when you're going to do something with bravery, you're going to feel a little bit scared inside. But she said, never show them. Never show them you're scared. And that's exactly what she did. She was a nutter. Come on in, boys. Yeah, you want to know? Yeah. It's like, Mum, please, Mum, no.
Gosh, yeah, that would definitely terrify me as well, but I can totally imagine it happening. So what would you like to see change, Jag? And what change do you think your book will bring about as well?
Well, the change will be the first, as I said before, okay, the next generation will sit back, hopefully, and say, you know, we're not living in that time no more. The world is our oyster. We can go and achieve anything we want. We can go to any peak. We're just equal as anyone else in this country. So we have rights. And also that do not tolerate any sort of banter about your colour or your creed, because banter is a seed. It grows. And once you start accepting people saying something about what your colour of your skin or the way you are, then it grows and it grows and it becomes like a habit. Let's break that habit. Let's not even tolerate the minor, slight little banter that people say, excuse me, mate, don't say that. And that brings out your pride and your dignity, and you're representing your culture. You're representing the ancestors who fought for justice, who fought for freedom. And that's a great word, freedom. We are all free today. And the book will show everybody the cage I was in. And not only me, thousands and thousands of people around the world, the civil rights in America, in Britain, it was all kicking off everywhere. But we were all in a cage. And that cage is open for the next generation. And it's also, and also, Akylah, what I will say is, I'm not the only person with this story. I'm not the only person who went through this. There's thousands and millions of people out there. I want those people to contact yourself and tell you the experiences, because the next generation needs to appreciate what they have today, freedom.